There you go. Alright. Go ahead and introduce yourself and why you're in Joplin.
I'm Tony Lucca, Season 2 finalist of The Voice, singer-songwriter, artist in town for the Dogs Downtown event here in Joplin, Missouri. Hanging here with Kaylee from Pit Crashers and
Back Pocket Believer.
Where's that from?
It's from an all-time low song. The phrase back pocket is like bands people haven't really heard of, and you're kind of bringing them out to show everybody.
So all you back pocket believers.
How did you get connected with Dogs in Downtown? Like,
it's a great question. I have no idea. I know that during in the wake of the tornado, my wife and I did some outreach efforts in Los Angeles with my singer-songwriter community friends, and we raised money for the Joplin School District, so that in the fall they were able to kind of start on time and have resources they needed for that.
Take a shower?
Yeah.
Yep, is everything right?
So good. And with that came some, obviously once the voice thing came, everyone from Show Me State Magazine to the Weather Channel, was kind of curious about this Joplin time. So the promoter of the event, just hit up my agent about it. They were looking to get someone else on the bill, and they reached out, and I said I could do it. So here I am.
I was curious. I didn't know how they managed to get you and everyone else up here.
Yeah.
For someone who's never listened to your music, if you had to describe it to them, how would you describe it in 3 words or less?
3 words or less.
Yeah. For someone who's never heard you before.
True to life.
Guys, we have a long one over here.
Yeah, we'll wait.
Okay.
And what's your message you're trying to convey in your songs?
Can you put a little bit in it?
I'm not real big on messages, especially any kind of like political messages or social awareness things. I've learned early on that I think at best the role of the artist in social dialogue is merely just to hold up a mirror to it or shed light on it. People can feel comfortable talking about it or debating it or taking action about it. But as soon as the artist himself is on a particular pedestal or soapbox, I think it sort of dilutes the potency of the artist himself. If to no one else except the people that aren't on the side of the line, that write you off, your loose man, your Mark Broussard, tweeting about how great Sarah Palin is, and then you lose half your fan base. You're going to lose half your fan base at some point if you take a side in the political. But to answer your question, I like to set up the conflict, the contrast in like relationship songs, but then somehow infuse an element of hope. I think there's probably a solution somewhere, and if you try hard, you're gonna find it.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about you or your music?
I don't know. I don't think there's been too much talk. misconceptions. Certainly with The Voice, you know, again, I got thrown in between like the Christina camp and the Adam camp.
Yeah.
People will make stuff up, you know, say whatever, sort of trying to get an upper hand. But I think there was a perception that maybe I was trying to milk the whole, I was on the Mickey Mouse Club thing, and that I was the one who insisted that we continue to drive that home each week on the show. And that, you know, couldn't be further from the truth. If you get on a show like that, they see an element like that, and they want to embellish that. And then they have to kind of remind the viewers each week why, who you are, where you come from, what you do. And so it was definitely not ever my intention to oversell my past to gain points or to, you know, keep dropping names or whatever, however it might have been perceived. It just was the nature of the game, and I was playing the game.
What does your family think of, you know, your success and being on The Voice and, you know, all of that?
Family loves it, you know. My extended family is really large. It's a music-making family. They're all really excited, really supportive. My immediate family, my wife is incredible. You know, she really is made of something else. She'd have to be to take on the life of a married to a musician who's on the road all the time. My kids really love it. They get a 9-year-old and a 2.5-year-old. They come out to California each week, and you're 9 and in 3rd grade, your dad's on TV. You're pretty cool. Kind of a big deal, you know. And so they all fared really well. Everyone made it through it with extreme grace and excitement. It was a lot of fun.
What do you think is your most valuable lesson learned out of either being on The Voice or your music career in general? What do you think is the most valuable lesson you've learned?
Yeah, you know, Adam Levine on the show, he imparted some really cool pieces of wisdom. And one of them was, we were joking about how crazy this whole ride is. Being on The Voice, being on TV, for him, you know, being in a band, and getting to be on some TV show, and now he's a superstar. Now he's got the moves like Mick Jagger. You know, it's like, this is crazy. This is like a dream. It really is. It's got dreamlike proportions to it. And his advice was like, dude, don't ever get used to it. Don't ever take it for granted. Don't ever get jaded or callous to how crazy and cool it is. Because it's always gonna make you smile if you let it. Always gonna keep you at peace and happy if you let it. There's only one other option, and you don't want to be miserable and jaded, spun out on drugs, and it's just, there's no need for that. This is a lot of fun. Let it be a lot of fun. I'm like, all right. The other thing he kind of taught me was when to take risks, and being perceptive of when the moment presents itself. The risk presents itself, it is yours and yours alone to take. You know, those are the ones you got to really sink your teeth into. And walking away from The Voice, feeling not only did I get the exposure I was looking for, but I've got a new sort of angle in my music due to the risks I took on the show. I'm really grateful for that.
And what's one question you get sick of being asked in interviews?
Yeah, I mean, recently it's just been What's up with Christina Aguilera?
Yeah.
That gets old. Before that, it was what was it like being on Nicki Minaj with Christina and Britney and Justin? There's a long answer and a short answer. Sum it up by saying I was 17, they were 12. And the behavior, oh yeah, okay, I get it. Some people are like, did you know Britney had a crush on you back in the day? If you did, would you have acted on? I'm like, I was 17, she was 12.
That would have been bad. Well, I don't have any of those, so. And we asked some fun questions or whatever, just kind of silly questions. You don't want to answer them, you don't have to. What's one secret or thing about yourself that your fans wouldn't know or wouldn't expect?
I'm not OCD, but I'm very particular when it comes to laundry. about like getting clothes right out of the dryer as soon as they're dry, not letting them sit in the dryer, folding them as soon as you can, and how you fold them. I don't know why. It's just like when I'm home, that becomes my job. I handle laundry, and I get it done. 5 hours, 4 hours, just to show my wife it can be done. Get it all folded and put away. All right, what's next?
Do you have a musical guilty pleasure? And if so, what is it?
I like scanning the dial for sneaky Jesus music. It's just like, there's a lot of it in Missouri, man. If you get out like Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, and you listen to the radio, you know what Sneaky Jesus music is. It's where you hear a song that sounds like, I don't know, it sounds like something you haven't heard before. You're like, wow, who's this? This is great. You even turn it up. You get to the chorus and it's like, oh, Sneaky Jesus. I got Sneaky Jesus to give. Yeah, so I love, like, when I hear something I don't recognize, I know it right away now. Come on. Come on. There's actually a friend of mine who worked in Christian music for Christian radio. And he said it's actually a list. It's called the JPM list. It's the JPM list. It's the Jesus per minute. And there's a list of words that to be certain categories of Christian music, you have to have a certain number of JPMs per, like a 3-minute song's got to have at least 5 JPMs to classify it as any type of gospel, Christian, contemporary, whatever. I'm like, are you kidding me? That is so not Christian. That is, Jesus would be go over his grave if he ever stayed there.
If the world does end in December, what do you want to be doing?
Driving. Cool to be driving. Try to outdrive it. The U-turn, haul ass on the shoulder of the freeway. No, I don't know, man. Obviously, it's kind of like a deathbed prophecy. You want to have your wife and kids with you and hold them in close. I'd love to be on stage, singing, playing, having people gather together one last time, listen to something different.
How do you think it's going to happen? Like zombie apocalypse or, I don't know.
Yeah, I want to hear more about the zombie apocalypse. I just keep catching you.
Like the guy that ate the guy's face off.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I think From what I gather, like, I think it's gonna be
Jesus is gonna come back and
no,
like
I
that, or
think it's gonna be all very scientific, you know, and I think there would be a shifting of the polar caps, and the axis will be re-established, and it'll be kind of like a dog shaking off leaves, and all just go, you know, but I think that a lot of people will survive, a lot of things will survive, but I think life as we know it right now probably go away, start over. I don't know. I really don't know. I would say it's probably something planetary and scientific that would make this planet uninhabitable. You know, like when they unearthed woolly mammoths, they found that they had undigested food in their
Just
stomach.
had to start coming in sometime.
Whatever it was happened like that. Happened very quickly. Imagine be something like that. You know? And, I just hope that whoever's next like starts to unearth us. They're not too judgmental, too critical about what they found in our undigested bellies.
Enjoy the rest of your
A
weekend.
lot of silly things.
Alright?
And they start putting the pieces together like a civilization had. Wait a minute, you mean they pulled this oil stuff out of the ground and put it in cars to put it in the air? Yeah. I don't know.
These are some about the boys. None of them are like distinctly related. So you know, some of these are sent in to us from fans. So,
Dropping.
how do you think your life has changed since being on The Voice? And is there anything that has changed that you wish would have stayed the same?
Not a whole lot of things. You know, I mean, it's even going out in the public places and being recognized. You know, it's sort of familiar terrain. Having been on TV as a kid, I got a bit of that. Familiar with that, and learn how to try and a little more gracefully. There's going to be a lot of expectations, I think, and hopefully I'm able to put in the right places without getting overwhelmed by them or succumbing to the pressure of them. So we'll see if that's a good thing or a bad thing, you know. But no, I mean, for the most part, things have changed for the better. And, professionally, my career-wise, you know, there's a lot more momentum now, and I get to go back to work in the studio and on the road with slightly larger proportions. I'm very excited about it.
You've had your foot in the door for music for a long time, on and off, like you said, since you were young. Do you think that gave you the upper hand during The Voice, or do you think everyone's on a level playing field?
I think as far as talent goes, there's a lot of ridiculously talented people, and maybe in that capacity there was a similarity, consistency amongst the contestants. I think, yeah, for me particularly, I think my strength was my experience as a performer.
Bye. Have a good day.
So once we realized that I was never going to out-sing Krishna, Jermaine Paul, or even Juliet, but that I could work the stage as good, if not better than all of them. You know, that's what we had to go with. Really make a lot of them, make use of that. Definitely having experience early on helped me through the paces. You know, all the media, all of the the anxiety and the nerves and stuff, and feeling comfortable on a stage in front of cameras and an audience. I was never really nervous about any of that. So that was a huge advantage. Definitely.
Don't like the noise movie.
And I'm sure you've been asked this a lot, but why did you pick Adam?
Adam just kind of struck me as someone that I could totally relate to. Of the four of them, I feel like maybe he's the least effective, you know, like, he's got the least persona to get to what he's saying. And not to say that the others are facades or anything. I just mean like his personality is his person.
Now we know how she
I
gets
like
her
to kind of find someone I can have a develop some shorthand with quickly.
What kind of advice would you give to somebody who wanted to try out for the voice or who wanted to pursue a career in music? Anything you've learned that other people should know?
Yeah, you know, for the voice, it's all about being able to do stuff on command, but you know, have a good deal of songs ready that you can play at any given time. You know, be hip to what's going on now. Don't be afraid to dive into something contemporary. Don't be afraid to change course. Don't get caught up in your own version of yourself.
I'm so happy.
Be open to change. As far as like music business at large, you know, you got to believe in what you're doing. Be as passionate about it as you can. But you also have to find somewhere along the way, you have to find a source, or two, or three, you have to find a source of accountability. You know, someone that's going to give it to you straight, keep you from sort of getting such a delusional sense of self. You know, like if you're really not great, you need to have someone tell you you're really not great. If you are better than you think you are, you need to have someone tell you that it's not your mom. Maybe it's your mom, but you know what I mean? Like someone who's for real, and you got to be open to that kind of constructive criticism. Otherwise, you know, you're just not going to get as far as you would otherwise.
What does the rest of 2012 have in store for you? And when can we expect an album or?
Right now we're sort of sifting through the ashes of the Voice Universal contract. But it's looking like I'm probably going to sign to a label within the next month or two. But I've already started working on the next album. I just got back from Nashville. I went to songwriting. I went to LA a lot. Do more songwriting and recording. Then probably August, September I'll be recording. October, November I'm doing a big 30-day national tour. That'll lead me into the holidays. And then we'll probably finishing up the record then. Hopefully the record will come out early 2013. I'm on a tentative hold to do a voice tour, January, February, March. 4 finalists from season 2, the 4 finalists from season 3. It's a tentative kind of thing. So it's busy. It's real busy.
Is there any like collaborations possible on the new album? And can you tell us about them?
Yeah. Nothing specific, but there's a lot of people I'm excited to reach out to, people that have voiced excitement about doing some work together. Adam's definitely on board to do some stuff. It's fun. But yeah, nothing yet. You know, may reach out to Brittany. Do a duet with Brittany, just cause. I think it'd be fun as hell. Maybe even go so far as to bury the hatchet with Christina and do a duet with her. We'll see.
Is there anything else you want to say to your fans who was want to do other things, or
Yeah, thank you. You know, one thing to get on stage and sing, and have people show up and support you and say they're fans and buy your music. It's another thing to wage a full-on campaign, you know, on a show like The Voice and watch the results play out in real time. And see the support in the form of votes, downloads. It's really awesome. I'm super grateful.
and that's it.
Cool. My arms.